All right, I'll take the oil fill cap off. I've already reset my little meter here. And we're gonna go ahead and put some oil in it. We're using 15W40. It's gotta meet the spec from Motorcraft. Maybe I'll speed this up on the video just so that it's not so boring. We're almost halfway there. All right, and that's 15 quarts. Now, of course, I set the camera up right on top of the engine oil dipstick. So just so you know, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna make sure that the engine oil level is correct before I give the truck back to the customer, and I will also be putting a little sticker up in the top left of the windshield. We do typically recommend that customers get their oil changed every 3,000 miles on these 6 liters, especially in severe duty applications. I know that the book says you can go much further than that, but in my experience working on these trucks for the past almost 20 years now, is that people will see the sticker, and when they hit their oil change time, they'll say, "Oh, I need to get an oil change." Then they'll see their oil change sticker again, and they'll say, "Oh, I need to get an oil change." Another 1,000 miles later, they say the same thing, and eventually they make it in here sometime around 4, 5, 6,000 miles on their oil. Realistically though, oil is cheap, engines are not, and 6 liters specifically use the engine oil in the injectors as well. And they also use it in the turbos, you know, for the VGT actuation, and also to coat the bearings and whatnot in the turbo. Engine oil is extremely cheap. Any of those parts that I just mentioned are not. So never a bad thing to change your oil maybe a little bit too often. I typically recommend 3,000 to 5,000 miles. So hopefully you will do the same thing on your truck, and I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera and get the oil level checked. GoPro, stop recording. All right, so I went ahead and pulled the dipstick out and I cleaned it. That's a very important step. For whatever reason, that seems to escape some people when they're checking their oil. So I'm gonna stick this down in there, and I'm gonna make sure that I stick it all the way down to where the top of the indicator goes over top of this tube right here, and I am just below the max. Now, what I've experienced is that because of the way I change the oil, where I pull the filter first like that, typically it will read a little bit high on here until I start the truck for the first time. After I start the truck for the first time, it's gonna go down somewhere into the middle of this indicator. So I'm gonna go do that now. I don't feel like dropping my camera while it's cranking, so I'm gonna pause the video and pull that off, and then once I start the truck, I'll come back out here and record it. GoPro, stop recording. All right. You can always give it a little bit of time to let everything kind of come down out of the heads, valve train, whatever. But watch this. Let's see if I'm right. And we are just a touch over top of the halfway mark, as you can see right there. So this is now a properly completed oil change here at Marty's Diesel. Technically, I gotta put the sticker in it, but you guys don't need to see that on the video. GoPro, stop recording.